Boom! Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Today is going to be an interesting video for sure, because usually when I do covers or I do reactions or whatever, it is a reaction of somebody else's stuff. In this case, I'm going to do To The Hellfire and kind of try and break down what I got going on, do all the little things that I've noticed and the things that I'm doing here. You know, try and describe it to you in the best way that I can, as far as the vocal playthrough does it anyway. Or how I do it in the vocal playthrough. But you're going to see there's some things that you might be like, I don't know what he's talking about. That just sounds like a bunch of, you know, jargon that I don't know what the heck he's saying or what he's trying to say. I'm going to just try and explain it to you the best way that I possibly could. And some of these things might get lost in translation, but do the best you can. I'm going to do the best I can, and let's see where we get. You know, this might just be a crappy video, or this might be an awesome one. So let's break it down. This is To The Hellfire, my cover of it by my band, Lorna. Sure, let's fucking go, baby. Oh! Oh! One take! Oh! Come on! Oh! Classic newspaper wall. Just finished taking that down the other day. No big deal. Terrible. Classic slice through the freaking hair. Come on. And if you know me, yeah, I'm sweating in this video a lot. So, hell yeah. This is one room. There's no ventilation. It's just hot in there. So, whatever. Anyway, back to it. Gonna do a lot of cutting through in this. As we're doing this, we're gonna do a lot of backpedaling, cutting, you know, whatever. That's how this video is gonna go. So get prepared. This is it. If you really want the breakdown, this is the breakdown. So right now what's going on is just a casual high, no goblin highs, but I slowly start to transition into the goblin highs, and you can actually hear everyone goes, ow, ow, done too. And then I start going into that, you know, like goblin-y type thing. So let's hear it again. See, by the time I say that, I'm already in the goblin-y tone. So I went from this open mouth, you know, very open scream into this goblin-y scream. So that's pretty much what we're doing right here. All goblins. Goblins with a little bit of tunnel at the end there, if you could hear it. Hear that? On this wild. Oh, this is going to be annoying. Wow, like it's very open at first, wow, and it turns into a tunnel scream. So we're gonna be breaking down everything. So for you guys that love to hear the little things and know what the heck is going on, this is the description of the vocal acrobatics that I am, or gymnastics that is going on in this playthrough. You can see my tunnel, I'm doing a tunnel scream. My tongue is pointed all the way to the right. There's a tunnel going on there right until it fades. Great. No tunnels here, straight goblins. Right there, we do a little pterodactyl, again, a little nasally, pterodactyl-y kind of scream in there. Tunnels. This is what I would classify. I would consider these lows to be like almost. Actually, let's start from the beginning before we get back into the lows. We're just going to go through those again, how you see them doing these goblins and all that. I'm describing it to you as it's going on. Open. Goblin. Goblin. Tunnel goblin. Tunnel goblin. Goblin into tunnel. Goblin into pterodactyl. just a lot of goblins and switching between goblins and goblin tunnels, and then just back basic tunnels. That's pretty much how we got the whole intro done. The next part is starting to go into the lows, and if you know my lows, you will know this is not my guttural. This is just kind of me doing my casual lows that I'm very comfortable doing. This is what we're going to transition into next. Tongue to the top of the mouth, nothing crazy, very open, very, if you close the mouth too much and you start doing these other things, start to take away the you know, you even being able to understand it. You're going to listen to it and be like, I don't know if is he enunciating? It just sounds cool. A lot of deathcore bands do not enunciate so much. I try to enunciate a lot on my lows and mids or whatever you want to call this, so that's why you can kind of understand it a lot better than, you know, if you had the lyrics in front of you or if you didn't. As the your mind is, I started to transition into gutturals, so dissolving. It's all straight. So we went from lows into these gutturals back into a pterodactyl high. Back into goblins. Back to those same lows that I was doing before. Into these, what I want to say is, there's a lot of things. This is why people, when, you know, especially this song, there are so many different things that I do in the vocal playthrough that I don't do live, or rather that I don't do on the actual studio version of it. So that's why there's a lot of little things, a lot of cuts. It's a long song, but there's a lot of things that are happening. So I'm trying to really break it up as much as I can. Yeah. Sent into the night. Except this is sent into the night. Classic lows. And then the releasing your grasp to straight up all, you know, like I would call those like a guttural. That'd be like something like a guttural. Almost like a pig squeal. I call them L pig squeals. Don't ask why. It's just how it is. And this is where we go from goblins into pterodactyl goblins and then just back into goblins again. All goblins. It's not too dynamic right there. It's just kind of switching between this filter, this, you know, you're pushing from here, you're pushing from here. That's pretty much what we got going on here. So, nothing sensation, we're free falling down. All goblins. Low. This is all just classic Will lows again. And then the next part goes right back into a crazy guttural. Classic Will Ramos L pig squeal. Right there, we're going from a tunnel low into a goblin pterodactyl high, which is crazy, but you can actually hear it going on right here. Tunnel, pterodactyl, goblin. Emphasis on the shun. You'll notice there's little things that I do to just try and make things a little bit heavy, like more black metal-y. So extra enunciation on highs goes a very long way. So here we go. Accepting this damnation, relinquish flesh temptation. Release your grip and face the it's little emphasis that you put on certain words that just changes the sound of the scream completely. So learned that from another vocalist friend of mine that I just absolutely love, and I will get to that at the end. Nothing confessed, put me to rest. You could hear how it's changing. It's not nothing confessed. It's nothing confessed. Put me to rest. It's like you're adding more letters in there that actually aren't supposed to be there, but you could tell what's going on. And also, you can hear that as I put me to rest, as I go into that note, I go into the more pterodactyly, ear-piercingly high scream, so. Classic lows. Open mouth. This part, I go a little bit more gutturally on that. You could hear it right here. Wow. Because you can tell when you want to enunciate more, you open your mouth more. You go, wow, low, and you could change the way the sound is. Something like what I did here is when I go lower, I close my mouth a little bit more. So it goes like, which takes away enunciation just a little bit, but makes it arguably heavier because you have a longer vocal tract and your just sounds lower. So, wow. No, I stayed low. I thought I was gonna mortal shell. No, I guess for the playthrough, for the sake of it, I went mortal shell. Same lows, classic. For that part right there, I tried, this is gonna sound crazy, but I tried to sound as close as I possibly could to, or tried to sound as close as I could to, Tom Barber or like a David Simonic type tone here. It's more like more emphasis on the less gutturally and more like force, more compression going on. It's what it feels like as I'm pushing the air out a little bit harder, but I'm not actually straining so much, so. That's what we have going on here. Time. Classic L pig squeal. Back to the classic lows. Swallowed by the womb of dirt. So as you could tell, if you listen really closely, you could hear swallowed by the womb of dirt. So it's like as I am doing this phrase, that is a terrible photo of me, by the way, whatever. But as I'm doing the phrase, I'm starting really open, swallowed by the womb of dirt. Because as the phrase goes on, it is slowly turning into a guttural, but not so much that you can't exactly understand what I'm saying. So, yeah. Enunciation. Swallowed by the womb of dirt. That part right there, I went in, not a goblin high, just a normal classic high into a tunnel scream. Straight goblins, love goblins. If you couldn't tell, that's what's going on here. Into the goblins, into the pterodactyl. Back into the tunnels. So it's a lot of, when I do my highs, it's a lot of doing some goblins, doing some open non-goblins, doing some pterodactyl-y screams, tunneling them, and then just kind of just circling around this vocal gymnastics of using any one of these different techniques. Let's see if I change it. I put out this video a long time ago, so I'm not gonna lie, I don't really remember, but we're just gonna have to find out. It goes normal lows, enter the void and foul with. So it's like straight, it's basically just bouncing back and forth between lows, the pterodactyls, lows, goblin or pterodactyl, like real quick. Not goblin. And foul with. And that's again, no goblins, is and fall with. Pterodactyl. Hell yeah. And then we go from goblins into gutturals. And you can hear at the end of the guttural, it transitions into the high. So if you listen really closely, you'll hear it. It's always the little things, the little minutiae that nobody actually notices, but me, obviously, I fucking laid it down. I can tell these little things so I can explain it to you guys better. It almost goes from into classic L pick skill. So the oh. So you can hear it goes from that L pig squeal transitions into the pterodactyly high screams, and then just goes back into the oof. You know, there's a lot of oorfs and shit going on. We love oorfs. Oorf. Oh, it's a brah. Same shit. Pterodactyl. Pterodactyl. More just straight goblins into pterodactyls, into goblins, into tunnel screams. Like, it's all right there. There's something that I really try to do when I do my lows. A lot of people do these a lot where they keep them very static. They do, guiding me beyond the veil, oh, bet you wall, free me from this mortal shell. I think it's better and more dynamic when you could do other things with your lips to make it guiding me beyond the veil, oh, bet you wow, free me from this mortal shell, as opposed to, oh, bet you wall, free me from this mortal shell. I feel like when you could do more dynamic stuff, it's easier to do live, which is kind of weird, and it also sounds really cool to people who can't do it, so. Fun fact, I actually look away right here to make sure that my thing is still recording because something happened in my ears. You can see the moment of panic. Ready? There it is. Panic. These are all more gutturals, really closed mouth stuff going on, a lot of tongue on the top of your mouth. As you could hear, there's not too much, enunciation going on, but that's just because I wanted to make it sound extra heavy because we all love heavy. Hell yeah. Throw this little tribe. David Simonic, baby, let's go. Shout out to you. My final breath. You see, people can do my final breath. I try my final breath. Changing little things like that just goes a long way. Swallowed by the womb of death. More just a lot of compression, letting out, trying to hold back as much air as possible while at the same time letting out that air is the best way to describe what is going on when I do these types of lows and these gutturals. Swallowed by the worm of love. You can hear it swallowed by the womb of death. Every time I try and do these, oh, that's also a really bad photo of me. Jesus Christ. Every time I try and do these long, we're just going to play it for a second so I don't have to look at that. There we go, thank God. That's even worse, arguably. Every time I try and do a long guttural or anything, I always try and just change the sound of it so it's not just like the entire time. It'll be like a you know what I mean? Like anything like that, but just the changing the shape of the mouth while you're doing a guttural sounds really cool. I like the way it sounds. I think a lot of people do, but you know, this is just me just going off. Off we go. Now it's time for guitar solo. It's just a pig squeal, man. It's just a pig squeal, and then you're letting it go into an classic. I miss my pink hair, man. If you guys think I should get my pink hair again, please let me know in the comments, because I miss it. And I kind of want to do it again, but also, like, maybe that's a thing of the past. I don't know if it's cool or not. I don't know. I'm just saying, you let me know what you think. More just an example of doing lows and just changing little things in just, you know, your lips, your mouth, your filters, everything that's going on here. Sink while you breathe. It's all low, and you're just sink while you breathe. I don't know, something about that thing, whatever you do with the freaking mouth, it just changes it. I think it's freaking dope. And yeah, just more textures. We love textures. My final breath swallows all right, we're gonna have to go back. As I'm doing these vocals, they are getting lower and lower. You could hear it. Higher. Swallowed by the womb. Classic L pig squeal. From goblins into open mouth screams. Open mouth highs, rather. Tunnel. That part right there, for the people who can't figure this out, because I've had a couple people try and break down this video, or me doing this 100,000 times on YouTube. I've seen them. Couple people get pretty close, but nobody quite gets that one, which is pretty dope. Zoom faster the tunnel into it. The next part is days goblin-y into like a low goblin-y type scream thing. That's pretty much what it is. Nobody gets that one for some reason. Everyone's like, oh, that's a low. It's not. It's like the same place that I'd be pushing with a high, except it's you just change the shape of your mouth to make it lower, but it is still, in my mind, a high sound source or a high constriction. Like that right there. That is a... Okay, scratch that, actually. It is a high into a low, that low guttural, that... into a low goblin scream. And that's what's going on right here, if you actually listen real close. Guttural. That is a low goblin, baby. Let's go. That was also the face of panic, where I start to realize that I might not even be on the beat. So if you look real close, this is me going like, oh shit, did I beast or did I just freaking screw that one up? That is a tunnel high into a tunnel low mid thing. When you really start to break it down, for all the people who are actually interested, I do have a whole vocal course, and it really takes apart filters and sound sources and how you can combine them and change the shape of your sound and all this. And this is obviously not a video to help like, you know, promote that. But this is me just talking about, because I am using a lot of words that some people might not be very familiar with. I understand that. I apologize for you guys that aren't aware of it, but for the guys who have taken the courses and are just trying to figure out what exactly is going on, this is the best way for me to describe it for you guys. Yeah, so that's pretty much where we're at. So let's end it off on a good note, right? That is a high goblin into a more low goblin thing. Into a, again, see, this is the coolest part about filters and how you can just freaking do anything. You could do anything with it. It is an example of how right here, this is all the same scream. It's all the same exact place that you're pushing from. You're just using your filters to change the sound completely. This entire scream right here. High goblin into a lower goblin. Same thing. You're literally just going from that low goblin into a high goblin or whatever, into a low scream with a lot of power going on in that shit. This is, you know, this is for me one of the easier songs that we play live. I know people will be like, oh, how is it easy? It's got so many things going on. I've played the song so many times. This song is easy for me anyway. And especially being able to break it down is probably one of the easiest things that I could do. I know it might be very complicated in certain parts for you guys because there's a lot of different technique things that are going on, but I promise you it is simpler than you think. It's just a lot of messing around with filters and finding where that good sound source is within you guys. So let's go back. That's too bad. Breath. Wow, look at that. Look, you guys only, look at this right here. You guys watching this video only came for the last, what? Minute. 1 minute, guys. That's all you gave me? God. So everybody was just like, let's just watch this last minute and then go watch it live and just record the whole thing on our phone. Guys, come on, man. Enjoy the whole song. I'm just saying. I mean, I wrote it, obviously, so I'm going to say that, but I'm really driving it home on this one. Let's go. By the womb of guttural. And live, I do that different. I do that guttural into an even lower guttural because live is the best place if you want to catch Lorna short, you want to see us, you want to know all the really cool things. I do even cooler things live that you will never see in a video like this. So, gotta be there or you'll never know. L pig squeal. Tunnel. Goblin into a guttural. Goblin. Tunnel. Low tunnel. Goblin-y tunnel. All the same sound source. Into the low sound source. And that is the entire breakdown of the, well, this is me breaking down the entire song of one of our most popular songs that we have out. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I'm sorry if it got a little confusing here and there. I get it. There's a lot of things that are going on here. For people who don't know the terminology and, you know, whatever we've been teaching this entire time, then you're definitely going to be super lost. But just more things to inspire you guys to go out there and just take your music by the hands and just make it your own. So I hope this helped you guys. For all you guys out there who are trying to figure out what is going on, I'm going to tell you right now, half of you guys missed it. This is the 100% full breakdown of the entire song. So thank you guys so much for watching. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you on the next one. Spin around. Oh, I unplugged. That's what I'm talking about.